Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Book of Matthew series. Today we're on Matthew 17, recap of Matthew 16. Jesus was talking about watch your guard against the Pharisees. Jesus rebuked Satan that was in Peter, and rebuked the human flesh of Peter and his selfish thing. He said, to follow me, you have to take up your cross daily. Now we're on 17. All right. Jesus took Peter, James, and John. They went up to a mountain. They were all alone. They watched them, and Jesus changed. His face became bright like the sun. His clothes became white as light. And then Moses and Elijah were talking to him. And then, because it reminds me of Moses when he was like, when his face was so bright, they had to cover it up or something like that, I think. Back in Exodus or Leviticus, number 2 army. Um, and Peter said, Lord, it is good that we are here. If you want, you'll put up 3 tents, one for Elijah and Moses. And then, while Peter was talking, a cloud came over them. A voice came from the cloud. This is my son, the one I love. I'm very pleased with him. Obey him. Kind of what baptism of Jesus, the dove. And then they bowed down and fell to the ground. But Jesus touched them and said, stand up, do not be afraid. And then Moses and Elijah went away and he was alone. And then Jesus and followers came down from the mountain. Don't tell anyone what you saw on the mountain. Wait till the Son of Man has been raised from the dead, and you can tell people what you saw. So he's telling them like, hey, once I rise from the dead, after I die on the cross, you can tell people what I saw. And the followers asked, why do the teachers of the law say that Elijah must come before the Messiah comes? Jesus said, they are right to say Elijah is coming. And it is true that Elijah will make all things the way they should be. But I tell you, Elijah has already come. People don't know who he was, and they treat him badly, doing whatever they wanted to do. It's the same with the Son of Man. Those same people who will make the Son of Man suffer. The followers understood what Jesus said Elijah. He was really talking about John the Baptist. Basically, what I'm saying is that like what Jesus, they don't know what he's gonna do, so they treat him like really, really badly. The same with all the other prophets, is Jesus saying, and it is true. Yes, that's what he's talking about. And then the man said, "Lord, be kind of my son. He suffers so much from seizures. He often falls in the fire or the water. I brought him to your followers. They cannot heal him. You people today have no." Jesus said, "You people today have no faith. Your lives are wrong. How long must I stay with you? How long must I continue to be patient with you? Bring the boy here." Jesus gave a strong command to the demon inside the boy. The demon came out of the boy, and the boy was healed. Jesus healed him, the boy with the demon. Followers came to him, Jesus. They said, "We try to force the demon out of the boy, but we cannot. Why are we unable to make the demon go out?" But Jesus said, "You were not able to do that because your faith is small." He says, "So you need to believe in me more. If your faith is only as big as a mustard seed, you can say to the mountain, move it from here to there, and it will move. You'll be able to do anything." See, that's how great the kingdom of God is. That's how great Jesus Christ and God is. The faith of a mustard seed, you can trample over every demon. You could trample over everything by the power and grace of Jesus Christ. That is amazing. Even the faith of mustard seed can move mountains, can cast out demons, can cast out anything. And then followers met together in Galilee. Jesus said, "The Son of Man will be handed over to control of men who will kill him." He predicts his death. But on the third day he'll be raised from the dead. The followers very sad here. Jesus will be killed. Jesus will be killed and then rise 3 days later. That's he told his disciples about his death. Jesus and followers went to Capernaum. The men who collect the 2 drachma temple tax came to Peter and asked, "Does the teacher pay the temple tax?" Peter answered, "Yes, he does." Peter went to the house where Jesus was. Before Peter could speak, Jesus said, "The kings on earth get different kinds of taxes from people, but who are those who pay the taxes? Are they the king's children, or do other people pay the taxes? What do you think?" Peter answered, "Other people pay the taxes." Jesus said, "The children of the king don't have to pay taxes, but we don't want to accept the tax collectors. So do this: go to the lake and fish. After you catch the first fish, open his mouth. Inside the mouth, you find You'll find a 4 drachma coin. Take that coin and give it to the tax collector. They will pay a tax for you and me. So Jesus is teaching about paying taxes, and then the temple tax and all these things, and then the king's children and all that stuff. And then Jesus said, open up the first mountain and you'll find a 4 drachma coin, and I'll be able to pay the taxes for it, you and me. So this is an interesting one. Moses and Elijah. I've never really read this part, but this is really interesting. I find it amazing how just even the faith of a mustard seed can do many things. God bless you all. Have a great day and a great weekend. And rest up.